Hello, my name is Rahul Hasija, and I'm more than happy to introduce you to the flow game and to share what flow game can bring to you, to your quest, and to your explorations. I came across flow game 5 years back, and I have had the opportunity and privilege to play it with my team and also personally many times. In this short video, I'll share some of the key elements of the flow game that I think will help you prepare for the game better. You can see the flow game board on the screen right now. The flow game board is designed as 4 rivers starting from the center, heading towards different directions. The flow game was inspired by the medicine wheel practiced in various ancient cultures, which in a way is a very powerful way of seeing our life holistically from different perspectives and different energies and different directions. The aim of the flow game is to bring clarity and flow into one's questions and explorations. You can play the game as an individual or you can play the game as a team. Now let me share with you what different directions represent on the board. The topmost north card, which is represented in red color and represented by a stag or a deer, represents leadership. It kind of guides us to the path of courage. What are the ways one can lead? The east card, which is blue in color, represented by an eagle, represents vision. The east card helps us see our explorations from a macro lens. South card, which is yellow in color, is represented by a rat or a mouse. It represents the spirit of community. And the last one, which is west, which is green in color, represented by a bear. It represents action. Apart from these 4 directions, there are 2 other vertical directions in the play. Earth cards, which are represented by black, ground us to the reality. They ground us to what is right now. And heaven cards, which are white in color, are angel cards. They kind of connect us to the beyond, something that's invisible. Here's the brief overview of the game. We'll begin with the check-in, which means we'll get to know each other. We'll introduce ourselves and get to know other players as well. Then we'll move on to the intentions of the questions that we have come to play with. Then one of the player will begin the game by throwing a die. All the 6 sides of the die represent 6 directions that we talked about. Based on the die results, I as a host will pick up a card. The player who rolled the die will now have some time to reflect upon the question or an image card that might come up from the game. Once the player has reflected, it will be now open for the Wisdom Council to share their reflections. All the other players, including the host, become the Wisdom Council for this round. Once the Wisdom Council has shared their reflections, the player who rolled the dice will now have some time to harvest the insights that have come up from the Wisdom Council. Based on the level of satisfaction and clarity the player has attained, the player will now move the boat from one island to another. Any kind of movement on this game, on this board, represents flow. The game now moves forwards with the second player throwing the die. There can be multiple rounds played during the game depending on the time and the intention that we are playing with. There are certain invitations and requests I would like to make for the game. We are able to receive more when we enter the game with an open heart. So I would request you to come with an open heart. Also, allow yourself to be surprised. There might be a lot of surprises in the way game turns out for you. Allow the randomness that comes with it. Third is trust the timing. Believe that the questions will appear when the time is right. And fourth, host yourself. Be present. The flow game, the question, and all of us, each one of us is a host, hosting you and your question. I hope you got a brief sense of how this game would look like. I'm eagerly waiting to play the flow game with you.